are gonna suffer versus that. So I wouldn't mind that kind of an approach, but they will go for an LC. That's a faster hero. You have the Purge. Sven does benefit from the attack speed quite a lot. I'm okay with it. It is a Slark counter for sure, and though you have to duel him. If you're dueling someone else, of course he's going to be breaking your ulti.
+1, and you don't actually have that that lane counter to the Darkseer, so I feel like that might go okay, but other than that, I mean, it's really only going to be once Puck is able to get into that Dream Coil that you're going to have too much of an impact coming through from them. So I think probably going to be a little bit more of a passive game from Mind Control specifically. Obviously, if they can have a chance to be able to get those kills in, then they'll take them. But yeah, definitely I'm looking to see all sorts of rotations from Mikey come towards that Slark Disruptor lane.
3 runes for level up, so good start for them. Mid lane,
GG, call it.
Yeah, it's over. Okay, makes sense. Storm versus the Puck. I've seen the Storm crush the Puck in lanes, and lorenof, considering that he's a big Storm player, is this something that we can expect?
I think so. I mean, I think the Storm, I was tossing up, like, do you go the Puck for, like, the game counter, or do you go the Queen of Pain for, like, the lane counter?
Yep.
And obviously they felt like they were just lacking a little bit of that extra control as Swedenstrong.
Yeah, he has a horse, but he's not really all that fast, and Yuma, he's gonna have that attack range to finish him off. His OwnedMe doesn't have any more spells, meaning that he's not gonna be able to run down the Slark, so that's usually something you don't expect from a Slark Disruptor level 1, especially versus a Keeper.
That's the power of the Blood Grenade, though, right?
Yep.
Like, Keeper of the Light, obviously, one of the big benefits of playing that hero is you've just got insane movement speed. It's so hard to catch you, but suddenly they added a 50 gold item that just gives you a 15% slow, and then, well, you've actually got a little bit of extra kill threat coming through with the Glimpse, and of course, Puck with that Essence Shift coming through as well.
So a lot of people were talking about nerfing the Blood Grenade. Do you think reducing the amount that you can have is a good enough nerf?
I don't know if it's like a good enough nerf, but it's the nerf that I like to see. Just because I really like Blood Grenade, because it allows for, like, plays to happen. You know, anything that encourages active play, I'm always going to be on board with that. Okay, makes sense. Bottom lane, GH is in a little bit of a trouble here. MiLAN doesn't have the resources necessary to finish him off, but he is securing the lane for the Sven. And you mentioned Sven is a Darkseer counter, and this is one of those lanes where the carry will just be having a free time. I think so. I mean, they're just using the Stormhammer to be able to harass that Mind Control a little bit. I've seen a lot of Svens just use it as like a range creep secure these days, and, well, looks like Mind Control is going to keep them a little bit behind on the XP front, but they're going to be able to secure a kill here.
Oh, he can't get in front. GA just got himself away. He doesn't have that much movement speed, but he had 8 charges of the stick and the Fairy Fire, so you really needed to block that roll if you wanted a kill.
I mean, it might just be enough to be able to bully him out of the lane, right? You've got Mind Control just not farming at all, sitting well below the Sven on the last hits front right now, 7-2.
Yeah, it's a really bad start. He's getting the wave.
I mean, I think he needs to try and make this pull through happen, but is he just pulling it into the small camp?
Seems to be
is just getting chased down by a support.
This is not good, as Mind Control can't come over. It would have been okay if Mind Control was able to be somewhere in the vicinity and get something, but the top lane is continuing to go really bad for level up, and they had a chance to pick a hero into a Slark. They decided to go for this Legion, and it's not working out well for them.
No, definitely not. I mean, this was the sort of thing where I was tossing up. Obviously, the Enigma isn't as big of a counter as it used to be, but, you know, you playing with this lane, and I mean, I feel like if you just picked a range, you would probably be a little bit more secure in the fact that you can just sit back and really not be as harassed by this matchup.
Mid lane, we're seeing that lorenof, he has an advantage for sure. We'll see just how much after these range creeps do drop down. Mikey, very nice glyph usage there. Let's see if that is enough to stop the Storm from getting. No, he just used one remnant for nothing, but it is something to get out of it, as lorenof is coming over. Swedenstrong rotating as well. Mikey doesn't have the orb for quite some time. You have to be very careful. Nice deny on the water rune, understanding that he just can't stand there.
Got a little bit lucky with the uphill miss as well, coming through from lorenof, so
yep.
Mikey's going to be A-okay in that lane, and I mean, this is the sort of thing that MiLAN is very happy to do. Like, you pick this Earth Spirit, obviously it got a little bit of buffs recently, but you go this dual melee lane to be able to make the most out of the Darkseer matchup, and I mean, if you're just not having that, and it's 1v1 with the Sven, he's going to be over the moon with that sort of situation.
For sure. MiLAN has been very annoying to mostly GH, but even mind control. Meanwhile, top lane, swedenstrong again in trouble. This time around, they're gonna be getting the kill. OwnedMe can't do anything to Yuma. If you're not targeting the Slark, these long fights, they are gonna be catastrophic for you in the laning phase. And the Slark continues to farm well, but at least in terms of farming, LC is up there, and after this wave, should actually be in front.
Yeah, he's doing A-okay, but the thing is, Yuma, he's already got those 3 permanent Agi stacks built up as well, so, you know, we know that Legion Commander wins, like, 90% of melee matchups, but I feel like the Agi steal that he's been doing is just evening that out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And the Slark is topping the network chart. I mean, he was the one to get the first blood. He got a couple of kills there as well, so it's quite normal. Kick on the Sven. You're not gonna get him that far. He goes for the roll. GH is looking very much dead. Yep, the second that MiLAN clenches his fist, it's gonna be over. And now, Gaben on the side of Nigma Galaxy. That Centaur only stunned MiLAN, didn't go for mind control, and he's gonna be able to run him down just because of it. Even the Hawk is in trouble right now.
I feel like Nigma Galaxy are honestly kind of okay with that, you know, with GH going down first, getting a lot of that solo XP over for the Darkseer, and suddenly he's recovered his lane somewhat, and he's almost reached up to that level 5. Had a benefit as well, just being able to refill the bottle on Mikey, who was having a bit of a rough time.
There's the double coil. They need the kick to break it. Not gonna be happening. Actually, they turn around onto the Shadow Demon. They saw that the storm wasn't gonna die. lorenof uses all of his mana to go for KuroKy. Won't be able to finish him off. But Mikey died. That is the huge one, and mana was refreshed onto lorenof. Him having that gas station is definitely gonna help. GH has the roll, will get himself to the high ground as the tower continues to attack him, but he will live. In the end, level up. Much happier with the exchange.
Yeah, KuroKy doing those nice little plays, though. Made sure to deny the Arcane Rune that had spawned on the bottom side, so at least lorenof wasn't able to pick that one up, even getting the glimpse off at a really nice time. So I'd say KuroKy's been playing pretty damn well. Probably the MVP for me so far this game, in enabling a lot of those kills in the top lane, and that timely rotation to be able to... Well, Mikey still dies, but to be able to not let the storm get too far ahead and get the snowball going.
I think KuroKy has been playing really well overall throughout this tournament. I'd say he has been the standout performer for Nigma from my side.
Yep. I think Yuma's had a lot to prove as well, and he's been putting some good performances in. His swedenstrong, nice little yoink there, and MiLAN ends up getting the other one.
He's gonna die for it.
Yeah, okay. Well, is he gonna deny himself, though?
Well, let's see. No, the Ancients, you're attacking the wrong guy. swedenstrong, he wants to die from you, and he will. He will feed himself to the Ancient Thunderhides, and will be quite happy about it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So let's see. The Slark is still ahead of the LC by quite a lot. I always like when the Slark has a good start. I feel like this hero, even though he is not the fastest of farmers, you want to be ahead with him. You can do so much more if you're ahead.
Yeah, for sure. And again, like, you need to be the one that confirms a lot of these early kills. Like Mikey, now he's got the level 6 on the puck, probably level 7, I believe. So if he wants to make rotations with the next power rune, he can absolutely look to do that. And I'm really seeing KuroKy make a lot more plays around that mid lane now. He doesn't need to be on this top side, right? Slark with the level 6 is very happy to lane up into the LC. Maybe need to be a little bit more cautious now, though, with the LC reaching the duel. So any sort of rotations onto Yuma would probably result in a kill and starting the scaling of the LC.
Yeah, that would be a problem for him. So you always have to be careful if lorenof is missing, if you know that he is full in HP and mana, which is currently the case. So you can already see the start going into the jungle when that does happen. So it's 8.5 minutes into the game. There's really not that much of a lead for either side. Do you favor anybody's laning phase? Do you think anybody's happier?
I think I would... Oops, sorry, KuroKy.
Yeah, he has found swedenstrong. He does get the blinding light off, and lorenof will be going on to KuroKy. Said he's going to be public enemy #1, and he does look that way, but he's living. Nope, the shadow poison does get to him. In the end, both him and swedenstrong will be going down, and swedenstrong survives a little bit longer, but in the end will die just the same.
The big thing that I'm really looking forward to kind of make my decision up for me, we've seen inside of the Radiant main jungle, there's a kill attempt. This is what I was talking about.
Yep. And pretty easy as well. They thought the Storm didn't have that much mana now, so he showed himself in the lane, and there's the outcome of it.
Yep, for sure. All right, so I was basically seeing, like, do they have any stacks up? It would have influenced my decision there, but I mean, with them being able to get another couple of kills into lorenof and get some of that dual damage, I would have to say level up off the back of that. Like, maybe if there was one more stack there, I would be feeling confident even without that kill, but now absolutely.
Makes a lot of sense. Nigma, other than this Darkseer, they're not that great at taking stacks themselves. Level up, of course, you have a Storm, you have a Coddle, even the LC isn't that bad, and Sven, we're not really going to be talking about that, him, one of the best ones in the game for sure. And of course, you have a Shadow Demon, and who stacks camps better than this guy?
Basically, him, Venge, and Coddle.
Yep.
Those are three pretty great stackers.
And you have two of them, so you definitely have something to play with. Nigma Galaxy, we talked about them wanting to constantly fight. Now it's daytime, but will you try to utilize the Slark during this daytime, or are you gonna wait for that night vision for him to really become active?
I think it's really just going to be dependent on Mikey, right? Like, maybe with this Witchblade, they feel like they're slightly capable of making some plays, but I'm sure he would love to have the power treads as well, just to be able to make something happen. Looks like he feels confident enough to be able to do it now, and maybe Mind Control can actually use himself as a little bit of bait for this mid lane.
Level up a little bit faster here than Nigma. Let's see if they can kill Mind Control in time. He's going to be putting down the wall. The Demonic Purge being used on him, so he cannot surge away. The Vacuum has been used, and they kick him away. He might not have the surge in the end. He's going to die to the damage of the Demonic Purge immediately. The coil gets broken by the Sven. Having the Healing Lotus, he is not a target you have to run.
Yeah, they'd even made the rotation with the LC as well, so if they stuck around there just to try and confirm the kill onto the Sven, that would have been even more dual damage going the way of level up. So, yeah, nice little rotation coming through. Almost was able to get Mind Control away. As we even hear the God Strength going through to Hark. Once again, just on this Sven, he's had a pretty decent game so far, but this is really where I'm wanting to see that God Strength being used. Taking those stacks, accelerating his net worth, and, you know, even the fact that he hasn't been able to secure any kills for himself, he's deathless, and he's going to be able to have that farming accelerant now that he's picked up the Mask of Madness.
Yeah, we've heard from interviews, and I've even heard from the coach of Level Up that the Hawk has been hitting the gym quite a lot, and that definitely does influence a hero like a Sven. You know, he just suddenly gets buffed up. That's kind of what the Hawk is going through, as Yuma does come over to push him up.
A little bit too late, unfortunately, and Kuro, unfortunately for him, he just cannot be that far forward. He is just going to be picked off every single time. Is Gaben favoring them right now? Looks like it's a regen on the bottom side, so actually it's tough. Never mind. lorenof able to pick that one up.
MiLAN very dead, as lorenof will be jumping in. He wants a kill on GH. This damage between the Storm and the Keeper of the Light, it is insane. The Solar Bind makes the Storm, who is a hero that usually does lack in the damage, not lack whatsoever. And he has the regen rune, so lorenof is going to be farming everything.
Yeah, farming everything, and I mean, even when he is a little bit more of that downtime, he's going to be able to... Big zip.
He still has the regen.
Farm right now.
Doesn't care.
Yeah, still has the regen, and he's still got a Coddle. Look at that cheeky little play with the Wall of Replica, just to deal the damage, and lorenof saying, you know what, Mind Control, I see you.
It was expiring though, so I don't know if that was worth it. One thing that we haven't discussed much is those wisdom runes going the way of level up. Nigma supports are still not level 6, and I think this is why level up are trying to be as aggressive as possible, because their heroes do farm pretty fast, but right now you have that opening to go forward. As I say, KuroKy does get his static storm.
Yeah, I think the other thing as well is that also it just enables your supports, especially the Keeper of the Light, to be playing just that little bit more aggressively, right? We could see swedenstrong playing in that mid lane. He feels fine enough just to be there, because where's the kill threat coming from if you don't have the Magnetize or the Static Storm?
Let's see now. The smoke from level up again. They're making a move towards the bottom lane. They're even bringing the Sven, so the Hawk is ready to fight.
Yeah, maybe giving them a false sense of security with OwnedMe still showing in that top lane.
His blink is getting over, so you're thinking, oh, he's not gonna be, they're not gonna be fighting without the blink. The kick out again, and the Demonic Purge didn't come out in time. They will be bringing down GH, but he gives his life for his score, and that is a true friend.
Yeah, for sure. Very nicely done by GH. Just constantly in the right place at the right time. Obviously not giving him the easiest start to the game. But importantly, Mikey is that Gaben once again favoring level up with lorenof being able to pick up that illusion rune, but importantly, Mind Control got the wisdom rune, so he's going to be able to recover himself somewhat with this net worth coming through to him, and it's going to come off the back of all those levels.
I mean, it's only fair that Centaur at the start of the game stunned MiLAN, and ultimately it brought to his demise. So now you can give a couple of runes to lorenof, who, as you mentioned, the illusion. There are a couple of silences that you're dealing with. That rune is going to be huge.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even you consider the Shadow Demon as well. If he's able to get into the Aghanim Shard, the Demonic Cleanse, very nice against those silences too.
For sure. We'll see if he does get it. I am very annoyed that the Shadow Demon does not have this little square thingy, rhomboid or whatever,
the diamond,
for the ulti. And he's the only one, and it has been like that for quite some time. So I'm really hoping that somebody does fix it. I am gonna assume, not a programmer, but I'm gonna assume it's not that hard to do.
Yeah, MiLAN's just a chat. He just doesn't level up his ulti. You know, that's all it is.
No, he did. He does have his ulti.
No, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, not understanding my co-caster. It's my fault. Anyways, though, nighttime has come. And Slark will be delivering his Echo Saber as well. So it might be time for Nigma. Yeah, he's pretty farmed himself. So it might be time for them to make a move.
I think absolutely. You got to make advantage of the extra night vision that Slark provides, especially when you're going up against a Legion commander, right? You don't want to be giving him the chance to be able to make the jump on you. Every chance that you get to be able to say, you know what, we've got the vision advantage, you take it.
The Hawk is showing in the lane. He does have 2.3k HP.
And he's got an LC standing behind him with that press the attack as well.
Even uses the Mask of Madness right next to the tower. You should assume with Nigma that he's close. There will be a roll and no kick, but they have the glimpse bringing him back. The Hawk is standing his ground, waiting for the press the attack to come through. They miss on the wall and the vacuum as well. As now the duel will be onto the Slark. The Static Storm will be there immediately. Jump in from the Storm into the Static Storm. No, you don't want to be doing that. Beautiful disruption as well. And the Storm has been caught in a coil. That's a little bit too deep. He does get out. Force staff and then just after the coil. MC is in a lot of trouble. The Slark gets himself away. GH did lose his life. Yuma spotted there for a second. He's not going to be healing for a second or a two. And now the glimpse onto the Hawk. He doesn't have the ghost strength any longer. He's not that strong, but he does have the work right. There's on Yuma. You want to fight me? Think again. It is going to be a 1-for-2. The carries have died. MiLAN has to run away. There will be a glimpse fairly soon as Mikey is coming forward, removing there the Witchblade damage. Actually, it will be applied right now. MC running onto MiLAN, and he will be dying in the end. So OwnedMe goes in again with the blink and the overwhelming odds. Everybody was waiting for the cavalry to return. And speaking of cavalry, Swedenstrong using his camel to get on top of Mikey, who's very low. There's going to be one more hit from lorenof, unable to dodge it. And it is going to be a beautiful fight for level up where they lose 2, but they claim all 5 from Nigma.
Yeah, I mean, this is the advantage of having that Sven with all those early stacks, right? You just have the tools to be able to take it. The enemy team doesn't. You highlighted his HP right at the start of that because of all the levels that he'd been able to pick up early on into the piece. 2.3k, having the war cry, having so much damage, as well as a little bit of assistance as well coming from the rest of his team. Basically, everyone has some sort of like save mechanic for themselves, whether it be movement or durability. It just feels really solid that you're just able to play kind of your own fight, but they were also playing pretty in sync together as well. It couldn't have been highlighted more by that last jump there that lorenof was able to get. You know, Swedenstrong just going for that one extra, you know, the +1 that probably a lesser team wouldn't have been able to claim.
That save on the Storm changed everything, right? You force him out just as the coil is expiring, and then he zips away. If he had died there, completely different fight. Yuma hits level 12, and I think level up get destroyed. But having this first big team fight won, it's gonna be a big boost.
But they're not wanting to let up. They've got 1.5 minutes left of this nighttime. Maybe just looking to put down some vision alongside this movement. They would love to be able to get a freebie.
LC is a great hero to kill, but the disruption was already ready.
Oh,
now
great.
There's gonna be a nice heal though. The Hawk has a BKB just standing his ground inside of a Static Storm, but they will be losing MiLAN. The Hawk thinking about fighting. There will be a jump in from lorenof, and Yuma will be getting out for now. He's gonna try to heal a little bit there on the side, jumping in onto the Storm again, but the Zips will keep him safe. lorenof next to the tier 2, going for MC. They have the Glitter Cape to save himself. As the Hawk, he's all alone. There's nobody to help him. The press the attack heals, there's not gonna be enough, and he's gonna be kicked in the backside and killed. KuroKy will die, but you've only killed the captain. Everything else went in favor of Nigma.
That's just because they were playing around that advantage, right? This was the difference. You've got those tools to be able to kite out this Sven. Even with his BKB, right? We could see they just run away on basically all of their heroes. The only one that doesn't have that capability is KuroKy. He ends up getting picked off at the end, but I mean, for a fight to last that long, and that's without even that static storm, wall of replica, vacuum in. Early on, this is really where you're wanting to make the use out of all of these magic spells.
Oh, I'm getting very excited here, Dano, because the fights, they seem to be long, and this is what I want to see from the two teams, going in and out. If a hero dies at the start, and it's a hero from level up, that is really bad, and that is exactly what happened, right? Because Nigma,
again?
Yeah, they're going again. They have 15 seconds left in the nighttime, though.
They do. And using the Fortify, just making sure that they've got every little bit of vision that they can get. No towers being pushed. They just want that creep wave to reveal a lot of what might be happening in that mid lane. We can see the pings happening from Swedenstrong there, saying, hey, look at this mid lane.
The Huck is dead.
Might have just stayed.
He's gone. Do you want to even BKB this? He will do it. He's pretty fast around and wants to fight them. He did use the Mask of Madness before. His Gauss Strength will be breaking the coil, the stun. It will not persist. The Hawk gets himself away. Seems that Nigma just don't have enough to keep him in place when he has a BKB.
Not quite, but I mean, I can eventually see, of course, the Slark going into something like the Basher just to hold them down that little bit more, to make sure that you're able to get the lockdown onto someone like the Shadow Demon, for example, to make sure that he's not able to get that disruption off for safety. MiLAN
has to run away. There will be a vacuum.
Yeah.
Tense situation. There is an Orchid on the Storm and a Shard on the Slark, so OwnedMe, he's gonna have to duel the Slark.
It's a lot of pressure to be able to put on him. And, you know, he's gone for the late game. You know, most of the times we see these Legion commanders, they go into something like the Midas, sorry, not the Midas, the Blade Mail into the Blink Dagger, but OwnedMe's got the Midas. He's playing for a little bit later on, and he wants to make sure that they've got that debuff immunity to be able to deal with all of these. Because, I mean, honestly, if you pop that BKB, you're really not that... I was about to say concerned, but Daxak is concerned with them trying to be able to take this Tormentor. Yeah, you really just don't care at all about the Puck, the Disruptor, the Darkseer, and honestly even the Earth Spirit, right? It's only the Slark that you're quite concerned about.
That was very concerning for Level Up fans, though only 5% of them in the chat. So I guess Nigma fans were cheering, go, try to kill the Tormentor, and it just didn't happen. Did you see the Tormentor kills Fountain Bug?
No? How'd that work?
Okay, you need a Wisp and you need a Primal Beast, and you use the Pulverize on the Tormentor, and then you relocate him, and he brings in the Tormentor to the Fountain. The Fountain kills itself on it.
And then you can Fountain Dive. I like it.
Yep. The Fountain never regenerates. It's game over, literally. Like, what are you supposed to do? Okay.
Oh, they got a very brief glimpse there of the Shadow Demon.
Oh, he didn't silence the Slark. And actually, they're gonna get the duel off. He didn't want to ulti immediately. He had the opportunity there and decided not to do it. Because of it, Yuma will die.
I mean, that is literally like a slither of information that they provided, and it wouldn't have happened at nighttime as well. They just put up those wards there, and it was really just the daytime vision of him walking up onto that Twin Gate area.
Oh, he doesn't have anything to remove the silence. Do they have the vision? Yeah, there's the sentry in the mid lane. The silence will expire. Mikey, a little bit of trouble still. The solar bind keeping in place, but he will get himself away in time as the DPs are coming in. lorenof, they pull him back. The static storm wasn't on point, and the storm will get himself out. Meanwhile, his mana does get refilled. The coddle is always there.
And while all this is happening, you're just, again, you're farming up at probably a pretty significantly faster rate on level up. Like, it's only a 2k advantage, sure, but you always just have to wonder that, you know, you're playing a Slark into a Sven. You know, if you're in the wrong place in the team fights, even if you pop that Depth Shroud or the Shadow Dance, you can still get cleaved down.
The same thing can be said the other side as well. A lot of Slark players love playing versus the Sven, so if the fight goes long, it's gonna be a catastrophe for the Sven. We'll see if Level Up can get those right jumps. I think Yuma needs to be very careful in these fights, and I like that he's going for a Linken's, because surviving in a fight with a Slark, it literally is winning you these team fights. If you're alive for long enough, you will ultimately clean up.
will for sure. They're actually making a pretty significant attempt to defend this mid tower. Gonna try and get the quick pick off.
Trying for MC. That's not the easiest of targets, but you do have the demonic purge. There will be a depth shot. Nice vacuum wall onto the three of them as the Ha goes in to kill the illusions. He's gonna be caught with the coil, the duel onto the puck. You don't have the depth shot any longer, so you won't have the puck either. You used it there to save your Darkseer. That means for a duel, it's not gonna be available. And OwnedMe, he's just not hurrying, so then he doesn't have the pressure of dueling the Stark.
He's like, don't glimpse me, please. Just walking around back and forth, and he's going to be A-okay. I mean, the big thing I'm talking about, like you mentioned, the longer fights do tend to favor Nigma Galaxy a little bit, but you do have on level up side, you've got all of these, like, these saves. You've got the chakra magic as well. Yep. You've got to spend with a god strength, but you need to be very careful on Nigma Galaxy about when you use these big ultimates. Because if you're able to just shrug them off, I really don't think you care about the Slark. You just look at everyone else other than that Slark. You know, you probably look to focus down, because you've got the Demonic Purge, right? And you've got plenty of farm on the Shadow Demon now as well. You know, he's looking to build up into his next big steroid for himself, whether that be like a Blink Dagger. I'm not 100% sure what he's going for. I wouldn't hate either the Blink or the Aghanim Scepter for the SD.
He wants a Lotus for now. How do you feel about it? I guess returning the Sven stun, the slows are there, having that on you before the demonic purge is used, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of things. I'm not sure it's the item that I would want to see.
Yeah, not sure if I am either. We'll have to wait and see.
Yep.
For the Darkseer. Looks like an Aghanim Shard was being queued up there by MiLAN as well, just realizing the strength of all of the silences that they've got on Nigma Galaxy. Of course, the heal as well, just to be able to survive that initial jump and the burst coming through.
And also,
I think the way that...
Go on.
I was basically just saying, like, these fights are going to be the battle of the cooldowns. Like, who can hold theirs for longer without losing heroes?
Yeah, I like that. If level up just go in for a kill immediately, they could find themselves caught. But if they are waiting, they have so many ways to jump in and blow that one hero up. They just have to wait for the right opportunity.
Yep. For sure. Like you said, it might have to be the Slark, right? Because he is ironically, the only one with any form of save. Whereas you've got multiple on level up, both from cores and supports. It's really quick on the fingers as lorenof to be able to get away from that pounce. Obviously not wanting to use any of those big cooldowns. And we talked about the strengths of the BKBs for level up. lorenof, he's just about 900 gold or so away from his. I'm sure he's saying to OwnedMe, don't take this wave. This is our next big strength, our next big timing. They would love to be able to pick this one up, take a team fight around the top side of the map, and be able to secure Roshan.
Yeah, I can just assume how much he screamed. That's my wave, right? Because it's super important that it does go to him. There's no easy communication in Dota. Like, can you please give me that wave? Nope. That is my wave. You have to assert dominance, and lorenof definitely did. There is a shard on the Shadow Demon that you mentioned, so the slows, the silences, the annoyances from Nigma Galaxy, one of the heroes won't care about him.
Yeah, and it might lead you to... Okay, that's a pretty decent kill. It might lead you to be less inclined to pop those big, save spells or the BKB earlier on into the piece, right? If you've just got a Shadow Demon Demonic Cleanse to be able to pop out, that is a very, low committal sort of thing to be able to contribute into the fight. I mean, then you've got him plus the disruption plus the press the attack. It's a lot of save.
I really like that the Sven got the Defiant Shell. That is a godly item for a Sven. You get that extra hit, it's gonna be insane how much damage they can bring to the table. And he finally does have a crit, so this Sven, he packs a punch.
Let's see.
He's gonna be in trouble. The demonic purge, the duel, everything has been used. Level up, no hesitation. That's a static storm used. I don't know if you can win this fight. Actually, Yuma, he wants to try. They're gonna be turning around onto KuroKy now. It's a 5 versus 3. They use the disruption into Yuma. Now he has to run. And everybody else from Nigma, they might be mobile, but they can't use that mobility for aggressive attempt. Yuma, he goes for the depth shot. He's gonna be stunned right inside of it. He's gonna have a pounce in a second or two, but he has no one to defend him. He's gonna be silenced. No Dark Pact for you. He will be living through the silence, but won't be living through the extra attack that comes out from the Hawk.
And that's the thing, right? They know that the Slark is the only save, and they saw him committing onto that bottom tier 2 tower. They ended up taking it, I believe, on Nigma Galaxy, but it ends up costing them 3 heroes. They won't be able to get the Wisdom Rune. GH just in time, able to secure that one, but he's probably going to pay with his own life. I guess wanting to be a little bit cautious playing near the Dire base.
Yeah, the Storm got pulled back. Swedenstrong, he just wanted everybody to be friends yet again on their side of the map. So him having that shard, it really does benefit level up quite a lot. Because as you mentioned, the Slark, the second that he shows himself on the map, Swedenstrong could be pulling his heroes to somewhere else to bring somebody down.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what OwnedMe is looking for, right? He had a little bit of a rough time in the laning stage, but, you know, it feels like the laning stage hasn't finished. The Slark is still your biggest counter in this game for the Legion commanders. So if he's showing elsewhere, that's time for you to be able to make a play. And, well, we talk about the importance of that day-night cycle. It's just 20 or so seconds until it's back to daytime. And that's why Level Up, they're looking to group up and look to try and make a play in this next little bit.
There's a Lincoln Sphere. There's a Lincolns on the puck, and there's gonna be one on the Slark. Do you like the new changes to the Lincolns that you cannot stack them?
Yes, it was so obnoxious. I mean, I think it was obnoxious because it was like being played with a busted hero like Medusa, as well as looking to potentially get a kill onto Mikey, but the Rooster Crows, and we get to see them, I would expect, move a little bit more onto the Nigma Galaxy side of the map. They should probably expect that they've got a decent amount of vision on their side of the map as well, just because this is the sort of game that Nigma Galaxy have drafted for, right?
Yep.
Gank potential. Make sure that the Slark is scaling off the back of that Essence Shift. As they see Mind Control, do they see Slark though? They don't quite yet.
Yeah, they're still gonna go for it. They're still gonna go for it. I understand it because he's going for the twin gates. There's no way that there's multiple people and he wants to go through it. So now straight into the Roche pit. There's a DD on lorenof, and if you want to use the God Strength on the Hawk, you can. But for now, he decides not to do it.
Yeah, absolutely no need for it. And I mean, the big thing is you probably couldn't have picked off a better target in that sort of situation. Mind Control is such an important part of any sort of like Roche attempt, any sort of close quarters area. Daxak is always going to give you an insane amount of value, but the Aegis is going to give lorenof even more of that value.
Yep, now he can do whatever he wants. You have the gem. You didn't deward the wards on the bottom part of the map if you're level up, so Nigma are still not blind in this game. So I think that's nice.
That is nice, but I don't think Level Up are wanting to play on their side of the map for the next 4 minutes. They want to make the most out of this daytime. They're just saying, look, we got the Aegis, we got the daytime, Slark isn't anywhere near as strong, we've got our BKBs, now is our time to be able to... I think they would be unhappy if there's more than, let's say, one tier 2 tower standing by the end of this Aegis.
Well, they're gonna try to go for it. They did give it to the Storm. So I'm thinking they might want to fight a little bit more, but Sven got the shard. He also got the Warcry armor talent. So good luck going through all of that armor on level up.
Oh yeah. Very nice little layer of protection for the saving supports. Not that they have a lot of right click though, to be fair.
True. That is true, but it's still gonna keep you alive a bit more. As Storm, he has the Aegis, now he's gonna have the shield rune as well. Good luck bringing this guy down.
Gotta say though, Nigma are doing a fairly decent job of being able to shove these lanes out so the Level Up just can't push into their side of the map. You know, it's forcing them to be in like very risky positions. We can see Mikey over there to the left-hand side of the map. I call this little area the bait lake because you walk into it thinking that you can escape, but unless you've got a Blink Dagger, it is just pure bait. It looks like he's going to try and maybe cut this wave, but has to be careful. He's constantly mindful of where is this Legion commander because I can still get burst down pretty quickly.
One thing that Nigma Galaxy are gonna have for the next fight is also a BKB for the Earth Spirit, and one thing that they're really looking to get is KuroKy Aghanim Scepter. That is a game-changing item.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talk about the importance of all these VKBs, but suddenly, if you just cannot pop them because you've got that Aghanim Scepter, it becomes so much more significant. They see Mind Control here. MiLAN for the hunt, but wasn't able to find him out. I think he might have just been underneath that that vision on the high ground.
Before he went for the Glimmer, he was spotted, so Mind Control gets himself out. So he knew about it. He's going for a Lincoln Sphere himself. These multiple Lincoln Spheres, is this the path to victory? Do you agree with the item choices of Nigma?
I think they just got to avoid getting blown up at the start of it, right? And it means that... Ooh.
Right. Is he out? Yep, no vision. lorenof, he gave the gem to Swedenstrong, so now he's just not going to be able to see his enemy.
Nicely done. Again, they're delaying this Aegis timing pretty damn well. And it's very rare that you see yourself like not lose any objectives, plus make the gold lead go back more in your favor. Like they have just been really nicely manipulating the map. You know, you lose a hero here and there, but right now they've, I think, only lost one.
2. It's gonna be GH
Still
dropping.
fine though.
Yeah, they caught the puck though. The stun of the Stormhammer isn't nearly enough, but the jump in from the Storm just blinks out in time. The Storm didn't have enough mana to get on top of the puck to cancel that blink. If he had, that would have been one dead puck.
He did still have the illusion rune though, right?
Oh,
Just got a little bit lucky there, so would have been able to purge off the Orchid.
He was fine either way. Sven, harpoon at the ready. Now he's hunting for fish, and you can see that the Hawk is with the water there in front of him. He is practicing fighting even on the terrain that is favorable to the Slark.
Where's the gem? Who's got the gem right now?
Storm.
Storm. Storm's got it again. He doesn't want any of those jump attempts to be prevented once more. The Hawk still with the sentry was able to remove that that cliff ward, but honestly, this is a victory for Nigma Galaxy, right? Just losing a couple of heroes. Yeah, it's some dual damage, but honestly, who cares? You really have taken away one of the big strength points, and now you've only got a minute left on the Aegis, and we're back to nighttime.
178 damage on the LC. Is that something that's gonna make a difference in the late game? If you would go like ultra late game, 50 plus, do you favor one or the other side?
The thing that I'm favoring about it is that it just gives him the potential to blow up a hero on his own. It doesn't need to be like the Slark, for example, but if you are having that threat of just being able to start,
Okay. I think we got our answer pretty quickly there. The Hawk, he doesn't waste no time.
Yeah, but like just being able to 100 to 0, honestly, everyone except maybe the Slark is such a significant tool, right? It just forces out those big cooldowns to be able to save. So I'm liking the fact that OwnedMe, he's been playing around. Dude, this replay.
Yes,
just
of
how
course.
quickly
Yes,
he gets
of course.
blown up. 1 and 2, 3. Devastating.
I think that's the time they play back your voice. Like, is the Hawk okay here? Like, nope. He's not. He's really mad, and he's gonna be letting out all of his anger on poor GH. Some big items on Nigma. Aghanim Scepter on the Disruptor is gonna be there soon. There's an Axe on the Slark. There is an Octarine on the Puck. So they're getting some pretty key items.
Yeah. The big thing, I mean, it's not really that big of a thing, but Legion Commander is even just going for a 4-star, just to make sure that you're able to break that Lincoln Sphere on him. And, well, this is a movement that they're making during the nighttime, maybe trying to catch someone off guard. And KuroKy, they know how important that Aegis, the Aghanim Scepter is going to be for him, so making sure that he loses all of that unreliable gold with the death, and the lane is even in a pretty good spot to be able to do some decent damage.
And speaking about Aghanim Scepters, there is gonna be one on swedenstrong, so you want to be lighting up that bulb, and now it's gonna be happening. So long fights means maybe even 2 Will-O-Wisps coming out. I'm not sure that Nigma Galaxy are winning the long fights any longer, if they can even make them happen.
And they've got pretty horrible Will-O-Wisp hitters as well, right? Like, the Slark wants to be hitting heroes. The Earth Spirit doesn't really want to be in there. It might have to be Earth Spirit, honestly. Like, I think GH has a BKB.
BKB and do it.
And, yeah, that has to just be it.
You know what's the problem with that? Is that the Sven just showed that he can 2-shot him. So...
True.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one for sure, and I'm liking that they have it, because the Sven wants more lockdown, more people clumped up together, and Will-O-Wisp definitely brings it to the table.
I mean, even the Legion Commander, right? We've seen how much the overwhelming odds can just deal that massive nuke damage, and, well, you're going to have that that potential with the Will-O-Wisp being picked up.
LC is level 20 as well, so everybody on level up getting that level 20 talents. He went for the Moment of Courage proc chance, so considering that he has that much damage from the duels, it really will make a difference. But that Nigma have been dodging for quite some time. What does level up need to stop them from doing so?
They just need a little bit of extra catch, right? Like, they're wanting to... I don't know if a Scythe of Vice is the option. I think they just haven't been able to find anyone. So maybe it's like a warding mission where... Oh, hopefully Yuma's okay.
And so do I.
Oh, Mikey's not okay. I think they need to go on like a smoke, not necessarily to get kills, but just to place down wards. And then you need to just continue to try and play on that side of the map. So You would probably say top side, just because mid and bottom are relatively shoved out already. And that's where you can look to make the next plays happen, right? Roshan has the potential to spawn in another 30 seconds. That would leave a minute left of it being on the top side. And, you know, Slark, of course, you're going up against him, so he has the potential to just deward it. But it also gives you the option to be able to find one of those pickoffs that opens up that next objective for you.
Yeah, they are. You mentioned like the hex, and really they are itemizing to catch people. But Nigma have been doing a good job not being caught. They did lose.
That's going to be a nice tool to be able to have. He just wants to make sure that he is a factor in these fights, not just picked off at the start of them.
Makes sense, makes sense. I think yesterday me and Bowie saw Primal Beast having 100 armor, and there was a Slark, or Troll or a Slark, I don't know, just hitting him, and not doing any damage. Obviously, the Darkseer cannot get up to 100 armor, but 30 is gonna have to do.
He'll be very happy with that one. They taking a Tormentor here? Looks like they are. Well, that's nice. Gives 100% uptime on that overwhelming odds now.
Yeah, so you can constantly get it out. Speaking of armor, you're gonna be getting quite a lot of it out. Again, armor not that great for level up in this game, but when it comes down to finishing heroes with the Slark, it is gonna make a difference.
Oh, for sure. And here we go. We got the Aghanim Scepter timing on KuroKy, but the Roshan side is going to be favoring level up. It's not spawning up top just yet. It's going to be another 40 seconds away, and by then, it'll be on the Radiant side. They'll have that extra outpost to be able to TP to in case the buybacks are coming through. What is the buyback status looking like? It looks like plenty of people actually have it if I'm looking... Oh, never mind, I'm completely wrong. No. Just the Spirit. For some reason, I was looking at the left-hand side of the portraits there on the buyback status menu, but it's the right side.
Not having buybacks definitely favors Nigma for a fight on the bottom lane, but here...
Oh, he reveals under the Watcher.
Jumping from Mikey makes his presence known, so now level up, they're aware.
Full retreat.
The link is broken. There will be a Will-O-Wisp going for the Darkseer. That's a double duel if you can get it, but there will be a depth shot immediately saving them as KuroKy gets taken down. Aghanim Scepter gonna be doing absolutely nothing. He's gonna be using the greater healing Lotus, but it's not gonna be enough. Actually, he gets it all away. He will be successful at escaping in the end, but finally the Hawk does run him down. He's just a little bit too fast. Lincoln's on Yuma broken. He's gonna be hexed up a little bit too early as the Dark Pact does remove it. lorenof, he's lost mana. He will be using the BTB. They turn around onto Yuma. He's standing his ground. He's fighting, but how much can you do? There's the cleave from the Sven that you were talking about. The MC standing his ground. The Aesthetics cap definitely helping, but just as everybody else did, he has to run away from the Sven. No more God Strength. That's something to level up are gonna be lacking when it comes to damage, and MC turning around. He wants to fight this guy. Decides, nope, even without the strength of the gods, he is pretty powerful as a human as well.
Just looking to try and chase him down. He keeps getting his Blink Dagger disrupted though. Oh, perfect timing in the Stormhammer.
Storm is back as well. He went to the base and got recalled. lorenof has full mana. There will be a Will-O-Wisp. Nobody to deal with it. There will be a stun returned onto the Sven. The Hawk stuns himself as well. He's fighting. Kuro coming over. The Hawk doesn't have the BKB. Inside of the connect.
Oh,
no, he missed it. He missed it. The Sven is way too fast. He dodges KuroKy, even though he was right in front of him. The Hawk is gonna be getting the strength of the gods back in 6 seconds. But he's gonna be killed before that happens. Without your carry, without your damage, you are nothing. Nigma Galaxy, now they smell fear, they smell blood, and they're gonna be shedding a lot of it from level up Glimpse, bringing Swedenstrong back. They are gonna be losing 4 heroes in the end, despite this fight looking good for them from the start.
And there's the advantage of those long fights, right? Just going in favor. A lot of it coming through to Mikey. And you just look comparatively. I mean, I wouldn't say this is like a 4 Protect 1 draft for the Sven, right? lorenof and OwnedMe both have the potential to deal a ton of damage in these fights, but just with the way that they're being able to position. And it was that Aesthetics cap, right? You got the double duel off, you got the Depth Shroud off as well to be able to save from the duel, but even if it wasn't, he would have had that really short duration on it anyway.
And second Roche will be going their way. Even with Slark having a billion stacks, they suck at taking Roche. But this is where level up should have gone back. Without the God Strength, they just cannot kill people.
I mean, honestly, like, a lot of things worked out pretty well for them, right?
Yep.
Like, they didn't get the Ag Static Storm in onto the Sven. They had the initial pickoffs. I guess the big thing was just having that LC there for that consistent, like, threat towards the support. So that's the big thing for mine. I mean, OwnedMe, he's itemized towards that sort of thing as well. It really is going to just be a big game of cat and mouse between the two, because he's even got a Shadow Blade on the LC. He just wants to find Kuro at the start of all of these fights.
They did, but the fight was too long, and it looked like Level Up with that Storm going back to the base being recalled, that was gonna be the end of it. But lorenov's impact in these fights, it just doesn't exist.
He's got the size of ice, so
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of control that they're going to be able to have.
No damage though. That is the problem, and there's gonna be
That's
the
a
static
really
storm.
nice static.
Nice disruption, saving swedenstrong for the time being. Sven trying to escape. He's gonna be caught for now, but will be saved in the end. The Hawk trying to run away. He has the BKB not just there. There's the satanic healing him back up. The full puck has been caught on the other side. The stun fall up. The Sven needs a couple of hits, but Mikey gets the phase shift, and he will be able to blink out. Gets to the high ground, and that is somewhere where Level Up will not be chasing.
It won't. I mean, it's unfortunate. Like, you're not playing with a Terrorblade lineup, right? So you can't just be spamming out the Chakra Magic onto the Sven. You are still reliant on this God Strength to be able to take a lot of these fights. And for Nigma Galaxy, they've got heroes that don't exactly have the longest cooldown on all of their ultis, right? The Slark, the Disruptor, the Puck, pretty short ones. So they're able to, most of the time you would be really happy with the fact that you've used a Wall of Replica, you used the Dream Coil, the Magnetize, you used everything. But they could just keep on going. They've got the Aegis, they've got the Vision advantage right now. They've been able to claim another tower.
And nighttime is coming. This is something that Nigma have been looking for the entirety of the game, to be on the enemy side of the map when the nighttime comes, so that you can hunt people, and it's finally gonna be their time. Their 3k gold ahead doesn't seem like much, but Level Up pretty helpless in some of these fights.
They've been doing a great job on Nigma as well of protecting this high ground ward, just not giving any options to be able to get back to safety. And MiLAN, he pays with his own life, going for that cheeky little D-ward attempt.
He knew he was fine. Yeah, there's no way.
Be able to get rid of him. They use the SD illusions, plus that Sentry Ward, plus the Shadow Poison and the Illuminate, just to give vision of the high ground, but it's just not enough.
The illusions take way too long to bring down a ward. It's too much. Sven is level 25. He got the God Strength increased talent. I'm not sure. I think that the 1 second on Stormhammer might have been better here.
Not sure what the neutral items are on Nigma Galaxy. Obviously, we mentioned the Ascetics cap on Mind Control. I'd love to see what Mikey has, just to be able to, you know, have a bit of an understanding of, is it that extra control that you need, or is it the damage that you need while they are in your, you know, minimal control?
Mikey does have level 25 as well, so he went for the Dream Coil, pierces the buff immunity. This Sven, it's gonna be super hard to play him.
Yeah, he's going to get kited like a beast. And he honestly has been, even prior to that that level 25 on the puck as well, so
yep,
it's a little bit of a challenging situation for him to be in. I almost wonder if it's like, we've been talking about the Wombo combo that Nigma Galaxy kind of needs to make happen, but do you need to kind of lean a bit more into that if you're level up, right? You've already got the Will-O-Wisp, you've got the AoE, the Cleave, excuse me, coming from the Sven, you've got the Overwhelming Odds, but maybe Storm Spirit needs to go on Aghanim Scepter as well, just to be able to, like, dodge out a bunch of these Lincolns.
Yeah, for the Lincolns, surely. I think that is the problem, because you're dealing with 4 Lincoln Spheres. KuroKy is the only one that doesn't have it, and he just bought a Blink Dagger. So this is a really good timing for Nigma.
He never wants to be anywhere near the front lines.
Lincolns, and there's the Lotus Storm returning the stun to the Sven. He's on the high ground. He needs something. There's the force stab getting in the low ground. He's gonna be fine for now. The Hawk running away, staying in the Will of the Wisp. They're not bringing it down just yet. They want to take it down fairly shortly, and there will be an ulti being used from the Slark. Yuma wants to go forward. He still sees them. He's healing up, but will decide it might not be worth it to go deep into the enemy base, and finally Nigma will go back.
And they have to fully retreat with that, with the God Strength being popped as well, because you've always got the threat with KuroKy and that Glimpse. Mind Control even doing nice little jobs to be able to micro all of those illusions just for vision, not worrying about the damage aspect, just wanting to give that vision so that they're able to potentially isolate a target. Enough now, he's level 25, he's even got the Overload attack bounces available for himself. No shard though, that could provide a nice little bit of a damage boost for him.
Yep, for everybody, and there it is. He buys the shard immediately, going for a Bloodthorn. I'm just not sure about this. I think yeah, Bloodstone.
Bloodstone now.
I still want to see an axe.
It's okay, but you've already got the Coddle, right, to be able to buff you up, and I feel like, you know, that plus all of the mana regen that you've got, Kai Assange to be able to buff up that that aura. I really think that it's a super value Aghanim Scepter game this time around.
Yeah, we'll see what he does in the end, though. lorenof, he still hasn't committed to anything of it, as they leave the base with a smoke level up, but you're running into enemy vision, into a Slark on a high ground, so they decide it might not be worth it to just go onto the enemies and just ward and go to the other side.
Park's the one to be able to claim the invis rune. Wants to be able to find that backline, so look at Kuro. He could be the one that gets run into here.
We'll jump onto MC. He does have the Scatty Step. Oh, he does open up the Sven. Aha, he was ready. Now going for the harpoon returns, but MC doesn't want to be hunting the Sven. There will be bashes. There will be an Abyssal Blade. He needs help. The 4 staffs. They kicked him back. He's not going to be able to get out, and the present attack got used before the coil. But Sven, he got some of his HP back. Now with the Satanic will be coming back to full Yuma. He wants to fight, taking even more of his stacks. Has the depth shot thing inside of it, and going for the Sven. The disruption will keep him safe for now, but he's still next to a wall, very slowed down. There will be mana brought back to him, jumping in onto the Sword Spirit.
Down the storm.
Well. lorenof will be fine. The time's not gonna be long enough. He's going for a TP out. You've dueled the Slark that just had so many stacks. He's gonna kill you all. Run away. Yuma is way too strong. The bash is coming in now. It is just gonna be a slaughter for everybody. Bring them all together for the Slark to rip them apart. The Sword Spirit comes back. He was back to the base.
Yuma gets away.
Full, but he now has all of his mana taken away. He came for the base. There will be a press the attack. Some attack speed for the storm, but not nearly enough to allow you to fight through. Mikey gets a triple kill, Yuma gets a billion stacks, and Nigma get an easy fight win.
Oh, I wouldn't call that easy. I'm sure they were
Convincing.
really on the edge of their seats there. Yeah, it's sick for sure. And the disruptor as well. The disruptor kill, it felt so huge, but they were just able to kite out the Sven once again so effectively. You know, now with that Dream Coil, Aghanim Scepter, even when the Sven's in the BKB, they really don't care. And they look to potentially threaten the tier 4 towers, not wanting to go for that complete attempt though. Be happy enough just to be able to claim probably 2 racks off the back of this, and you might need to buy back on at least the Storm Spirit.
Slark is losing stacks though, so he's not going to be as powerful as he was. 30 is still a pretty decent number, and somewhere in that fight he got level 25 and got the other talent. So some of these stacks are going to be lasting longer, but ultimately they will all expire.
You gotta buy back here.
You have to
go up against Megas.
You're a Sven though?
Not on Sven, but Storm's gotta like try and do some sort of distraction plays.
I think they made a decision, or have they? They go for a smoke, the glyph has been used, they want to fight.
I suppose, but Mikey's just been playing a phenomenal game on his puck so far.
Link is broken, duel onto the Slark. The Sven does come back, and
they're
the
all in.
bought back. The Slark doesn't care.
He's in the static.
His ground. The disruption saving OwnedMe from his own duel. You decided to fight the wrong guy. This guy a little bit too strong at the moment. MiLAN running away with a Glimmer Cape as the Sven goes in. There will be a depth shot. Everybody comes in. There's nothing for him to flee. Now turn around onto MC. He just can't do that much damage, and now the Hawk is left alone. He at least wants to kill the enemy captain, and he won't be allowed to do even that level up. They were doing well in this game, but Nigma just way too hard to defeat this team for even one game.